Hey, welcome to Early Access Control Alpha, Beta, and Abandon. And what we're doing right now is taking a look at EGRESS by Fazan. It released October 24th, 2019. Shout out to Lionel Starkweather in the community for mentioning this game. He told me I should check it out. And indeed, it's been abandoned. It's kind of fishy what the developer did. Well, I wouldn't say it's fishy. I'm kind of really in mixed emotions from what I'm gathering from doing my little bit of research on this project. It appears the release date is actually the date that this game came out of early access. Doesn't look like it's in early access anymore. It had received several updates in 2018 and 2019, and it looked like the game was just kind of dying down, and then the developer just pushed it to release, so he could kind of be done with it. No wonder why the community is kind of infuriated or upset about that, because what they had here, or what the developer had here, was pretty cool. And they spent a lot of time and effort and money on this game, and it's really unfortunate that they didn't have the further insight that would have maybe helped this game succeed a little bit better. And what I mean by that is, when you're taking a game that's in early access, so we'll just talk about Egress, and it launches into early access. It's only got a little bit of hype behind it. The window of success for any game in early access is really, really small. It's like 3-4 days these days. And it used to be longer in Greenlight. When Steam had the Greenlight program, you could be months, because not a lot of games were hitting green light, and they had to be voted in by the fans. Now anybody can kind of put these games up here. You got hundreds of games hitting Steam early access all the time, every day, every week. And no wonder why games can't compete with the other games, because people are always looking for the prettier girl or boy in the room to go play for the people on Twitch or whatever it is, right? You get a lot of people that aren't doing what they early access meant to kind of do, and you're supposed to be helping the developer along. You're supposed to be along for the journey, testing for them, giving them insights, being part of the team, working closely with development. But that just doesn't happen these days, and it's frustrating. It must be frustrating for the developer, but it's frustrating for the community members that inject their money and dollars into the development. So when Egress hits, unless it's got a massive amount of people following it, it's not going to have that initial influx of money and revenue to go to the developers that's going to satisfy it as it kind of dwindles down through its development cycle, right? It looks like there's 111 reviews on this. That should be in the thousands if it was remotely going to be a success. But they were releasing a niche PvP game as it is, and so a lot of people don't really want to play that. They want a quick shooter, jump in, jump out, satisfy themselves for a little bit. And in these kind of games, a lot of people aren't that interested. You look at Spellbreak, who they're averaging by the Steam charts maybe around 2K users concurrently, and that's pretty good for what it is. I mean, it's not for everybody, right? But this game would be even a smaller scope than that, because it's much more niche, we'll just say it that way. So judging by what occurred in the community, I think people probably just stopped playing this, and not enough people were playing, so it became really, really boring. And if nobody's around to play, then how are they going to test for the developer, and how's it going to succeed, blah blah blah. So people were requesting bots, and bots got added, and clearly it wasn't enough, because I've played it for just over an hour now, and I'm bored of it now, even though it's a really rich, detailed, kind of cool world that the developer had come up with. The character concepts are cool, like the movement and the animations are great. Like, it looks like he mocapped themselves, and all those kind of things cost money and stuff like that. But unless you have that ball really ready to roll at the beginning, you drop into early access, you're going to be left with what you have right here. And Egress is essentially abandoned. Whether or not it, like, hold on, let me rethink this statement. I don't really know the features that were promised to the community, so I can't really say how much the developer left out. But if they just decided one day to say, I'm done with the game, and chalk it up and say it's released, no wonder why the community would be pissed off. Because if you had a handful of people that said, we're sticking around for X and Y and Z, and they never came, and the developer said, hey, we're just releasing it because I don't have money or time to work on it, that's the total wrong way to handle this situation. And it gives me kind of a little bit insight to maybe The worst thing about games like this, even though they're really good and they're functioning and they're fantastic to look at and they have a whole bunch of pluses, the lazy move is to just push it to development. But on the other hand, it's better than sitting there in early access and lying to people saying that, you know, X, Y, and Z is coming, if you follow me, right? So the fact that it angers the community that maybe he just pushed it to development and said, hey, it's released. At least he's not trying to really kind of get money out of unsuspecting buyers by saying, hey, these features are still going to come, which we see all the time in early access. But at the same time, he's trying to sell a game that relies on player versus player content that had 1750, and really no one's going to be playing it because everyone the Steam charts for this game have been me the last couple weeks because I bought this prior to Christmas, and that's about it. So unfortunately, yeah, you're in this situation where you have a decent product but nobody to play with, and it's being sold. And this is one of these games that's just kind of going to fade away into obscurity unless somebody resurrects it on Twitch and says, like, some big names like, hey, let's play this, and oh, this is really fun. And you know what? Maybe somebody will. Maybe it'll happen that way. Who knows? But unless you have those kind of things to influx a whole bunch of new people, this game's just going to be buried. And that's what's happening. Sorry, I meant to show you the artwork here and stuff. So part of my favorite, I don't want to name my hero. One of my favorite things about this game is the artwork and the different characters that it came up with. You got a little backstory. You know, the stat system and the abilities. There's some basic uniqueness to each characters because they have some signature moves and stuff like that, which is really cool. It leads me to believe with these pictures that maybe these are skins that were going to be released in the future content, maybe a source of revenue. But if nobody's playing, no one's going to buy a skin. So yeah, and there actually is Steam cards part of this, but they're all broken. So I'm not sure if that was plan to come or if they are trying to add something more to it or what. So this game is rich and detailed. It's got multi, levels, got nooks and crannies, alleyways, rooftops, treasure chests everywhere. It's got an objective, it's got bots, and that's it. There's absolutely nothing to do. It looks cool. It's a fancy Lovecraftian kind of kill simulator with some bots in it. But other than that, it should play as maybe a demo for a game engine. I don't really know because there's nothing to do. And I can't really show you much about the game because I don't want to play it, and it's creeping up to the 2-hour limit, and I got to return this game. It's actually day 13 of me having this game, so I wanted to get it out for you before then, but things just got too busy for me over the holidays, so I didn't get a chance. But I can kind of run around and maybe give you a little bit of a peek on a rooftop. We'll see. The world's cool. You got some neat kind of signature moves. You can cycle through them with these. That's not a kick, but there's cannons. You can shoot cannons, which I kind of like. It's good. Some possible things that would have been really, really fun about this game, but fortunately, what do you do? And it'd be great if Fazan would even maybe comment if he ever sees this. Maybe, probably never will. Yeah, why did you just decide to push it instead of maybe just tell people that it's not making money? I'll maybe come back to it one day. I'm going to reduce the price, or I'm going to pull the price, or something like that. I guess there's a certain amount of developer integrity that they're trying to save when they do these kind of things, but it doesn't always work, and you're not always able to save failed projects, because we see it a lot, and games go under all the time. So if this is a AAA company playing this game, they'd pull it and they'd sunset it. And, developers maybe should consider doing that. It was a good game. You tried. It's not going to happen at this point. And, yeah. But that's how I feel. So, let's just end the video there, guys. I wish I had more to say about this game. It's not in early access. It's been released from my understanding. If that's wrong, somebody please mention it to me, and let me know the features that might have been left out and any more insight into this game. But other than that, don't buy Egress because no one's playing. And you know, if there were people lined up to play this game, I bet you'd receive some really good reviews because it's got potential to be exciting, but it's niche, and so it's going to be always behind the 8 ball when it goes up to against competition for new games. So remember that, and hopefully you had a great day. Happy New Year 2021. Let's go, and like and subscribe, and we'll see you later. Thanks.